my love of Disney and also my love of Winnie-the-Pooh means that I'm going to watch every Disney film around. And that includes Tigger and Pooh and a musical too. I have to say, I really like that title. This was released in 2009, directed by David Hartman, and I wasn't sure how I'd feel with this. This is, to my knowledge, my first time watching Winnie-the-Pooh with this more CGI approach. Obviously, I grew up in the 90s and early noughties. I was very much an animated Pooh Bear. And I kind of feel like people who grew up with the original Winnie-the-Pooh animation would feel the same way about the style that I'm used to, that I do towards this. So there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. I'm sure children who are just being introduced to Winnie-the-Pooh will find it absolutely delightful. And the characters do look great. They do look obviously recognisable. But for me personally, I would have rather it was animation. But it does work. Basically, Rabbit is made mayor of the 100 Acre Wood, and he starts to put into place all of these ridiculous rules that are impossible to follow. So Tygr decides to, I guess, run for mayor as well, but what ends up happening quite quickly in the film, it's not a spoiler, is that they end up drawing a line down the 100 Acre Wood, and half of them live in one side with Rabbit's rules, and half of them live in the other side with Tygr's rules, or lack thereof. And it's all about the things that they can't do when they're not working together as a team. Ultimately, the message is, one, don't be a jobsworth like Rabbit, but mostly working as a team is much better. And if you actually are not divided and you're united, everything will get done more efficiently and you will be happier and you won't miss out. That's the message here. Pretty great message for kids, but let's face it, for fully grown adults, it's also very essential a lot of the time. So the narrative itself is quite interesting. It's only an hour in length, and it was a bit slow. At one point I checked the time and there was still about 25 minutes left to go, and I was so sure it should have been nearing the end, but not necessarily because I was bored. I thought this must be nearing the end now, and it isn't, but it was quite slow. And then it picked up again towards the end, and characters obviously started to point out that things aren't going very well. And then, I'm not going to say what happened, but then Rabbit came up with a solution, but Rabbit's solution was only to make her half of the wood happy. His half. Is Rabbit a boy or a girl? I don't know if I've ever known that. I googled it. He's a boy. And the narrative, yeah, I really like it. What I really loved about this is there are some good songs in it, and a lot of the songs are decent, but the first song is my favourite, and I can't remember what this song is called, but it's sung with one line per character. So each character sings one word, and I think it might be the One Big Happy Family song. But they each sing a different word, and it flows so well. It's so beautiful, and because they each have a different timbre to their voice, it's brilliant. Going from like a squeaky Piglet to a slightly gruff Eeyore. It just sounds amazing, and I was really, genuinely, thoroughly impressed with that. And that song reprises at one point as well, and I absolutely adored it. I would genuinely buy that song on iTunes and listen to it. It's just so uplifting and so fun. So I really can't fault that. Voice cast is great. Jim Cummings obviously voices Winnie-the-Pooh and Tigr, and also Beaver. Darby is voiced by Chloë Grace Moretz in the USA and Kimberly Berg in the UK. Eeyore, Peter Cullen. Brenda Blethyn actually voices Ma Heffalump. And Mark Hamill voices the turtle, which I thought was pretty interesting. And Kath Soucie, of course, voices Kanga, with Travis Oates as Piglet. Great voice acting. If you look at a picture of Travis Oates, whose name I recognise from other voiceover work, Lego. Yeah, he did a lot of Lego movie stuff. But he is the current official voice of Piglet, and if you look at him, it's not what you'd expect for the voice of Piglet. It's a really brilliant work, really, really great all round. I thoroughly enjoyed this little 1 hour film. I didn't expect to this much, because of how different it is to the Pooh Bear that I'm used to. But I thoroughly recommend it if you like Winnie-the-Pooh, regardless of what your age. It's cute, it's cuddly, it's fun, it's got a great message, got a great song. can't really ask for more than that.